Okay, hello guys. So in this class, we're going to talk about states better. So I built this very beautiful app. So okay, it's not the best, yeah, but I think this should explain how states works. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't want to bore you guys with CSS. So this is since this is not a CSS class, I just had to come up with this beautiful word about. Yeah. I know you can make it better. You can build it better. I don't mind model design, make it better, and send me what you built. Let me see what you built, and so I can celebrate you and tell you how good you are with React and CSS. Okay, so let me just walk you through the CSS. So I just selected all classes, removed all the default browser styles that we don't want, and I wanted to center everything to the page, so I gave it a display flex and align center just by content center with a height and just basically takes the full width and height of the screen. So the wrapper 40%, so it's small and I was able to center it, gave it the color of white and yeah, you should know the background and yeah, the H1 made it a bit bigger and center it. Then this is a button div that wraps all the buttons. So I was able to like center the button on the page and give it a display flex and I styled the button a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so let's get to work. So the first thing we need to do is, as usual, is set up our states. So we pick up the constant from React. So we like so what should we call this? So first we're working on increment. So this should be increment. Then the next thing is a function that updates the state, which is set increment. This is going to be set increment, which is equals to new state. So this is your state. So by default, we want it to be zero. So in that way, we add zero here in the H1. So we could just take this off and add our JavaScript instead. So it's dynamic. So I have increment. Okay. So now let's write a function that increment it. So what do we want this function to do? So let's say increment increment by one. So what do we want this function to do? So we want it to const undo increment. So once when a user clicks on the button, it should add the value by one. So how do we do this? I'll be like, the increment is zero. So all we have to do is set increment. Set increment updates what uh, the value we had already. So we're just going to be like set increment. It just updates the state to what we want it to be. So we're updating it to what we want the new state to be. Sorry, I think I misspelled this guy. So it's set increment and I have double S. Yeah. So set increment. So we want it to be increment plus one. So what's the value of increment? So whatever the value of increment is, then add it by one. Hope you get. Okay, so what we're saying is set increment updates the state. So we're saying pick whatever increment is. So if increment is zero, pick it up and add one to it. So it adds one to it. So let's say increment now changed to one. So the next time you click that button, you want to pick up what increment is, which would be one, and you add another one to it. It makes it two. So let's just add the on click event listener to the add button. So I'll on click, we want it to call handle increment. So handle increment is called every time we click on that button. So if we come here and click on add, it updates. You see, we're updating this state without refreshing the app. So you see, it keeps updating every time we print something like that. So I'm going to let you deal with the minus on your own, work around it and see how you can make this subtract this state every time we update here. Happy coding. If you have issues, I'm always available. You can hit me up. So let's see how far you can go with this. Right. Thank you very much.